Okay, YouTube, let's go ahead and get this party started. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take off is this backrest. If you don't have that backrest, don't worry about it. And then after that, I'm going to take the seat off. Okay, now after I've taken the backrest off, I'm going to take the seat off. Now, right on the passenger seat, right straight down, are two bolts right here. Now I've changed mine and made them SAE bolts, but some people may still have the hex bolts, so that's why I had that Allen wrench set out, or either a hex bolt, either one, but I changed mine over. And then also for me to get that off, I have to take this side compartment off. That gives me easy direct access with a ratchet and a extension. Now coming up, and I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side, but while I'm here, notice I went and got my key, and you see where the lid, where the gas cap goes. Now I've got my handy dandy Harbor Freight flashlight. Then you see the gas cap. Now come on in a little further. You see that little lever right there? You lift that lever up once you get both of those screws on the back of the seat out. And what it is, those right here, the seat had grooves in it just like this. And that lever fits to whatever position you want the seat, a little further back, a little further up. And then also too, you notice that the seat has a slot so it can slide forward and back. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do that and take the seat off. Now as you can see, the seat is off. My next thing to take off would be the side covers on this side and the side cover on that side. I know some of you all are saying, why am I being so picky? Quite naturally I got to take the side cover off. But let's take into consideration that we do have some people that have brought a brand new Goldwing, or the first time owning a Goldwing, and they have to do this. So that's why I'm making it a little bit picky, and so that everybody can be on the same sheet of music and everybody can understand it. Alright, so again, side cover, other side cover. And to give a little bit more of an explanation on why I'm taking the side covers off is because the false tank has got a bolt right behind here on this side, and the same thing on that side. So that's why the side covers have got to come off. Alright, so I'm going to take them off and pause there. And here we are again. Now with the side covers off, there's that bolt I was telling you about. They have to take off for the false tank. And the same is on the other side. Now what the next thing I'm going to do, and it's always to make it a good practice, I'm going to disconnect the battery. I won't remove it, I'll just disconnect it. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the battery, and then after that we're going to move on to the next thing that's in that same line for the false tank. I'm going to take these two false pieces off that side and the one on this side. And also this is a little bit of a late entry, but you notice that I brought the toolboxes over here to the left side of the bike. Mostly all of your work is going to be on the left side of the motorcycle. So bring your toolbox over here on the left hand side. And since the battery is disconnected, let's go on to that next spot. You know, and I talked about I was going to take these off, but if you pay attention to it, everything overlaps one way or the other. See, this is overlapping on that, and then this is overlapping on that, and also on the false tank. So the same thing. Take this off, this pocket off, unscrew that screw there, and here. It'll take this whole pocket right on out. And do the same thing for that side. Screw, 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 screw. And then if you take those out, then you can take these out. These just got rubber grommets. You can just pull them right on out. Alright? And here is the left pocket taken out. That's what it looks like down in there. Same thing, put your cover back on. Also, do I put the 4 screws right on in there, so when I get ready to put it back on, I know where they are. Alright, again, I'm going to do the Same thing to the other side. Now also too, at any time you feel like you need to stop and catch up, I know by watching it, I'm gonna put these clips together, but there's a timeline in between me doing one thing and doing another. So when you say that I'm gonna take this off, make sure you stop the video and start it again and watch it. Alright. Okay, the left pocket is taken out and the right pocket is taken out. Same thing, I can go ahead and take this off, but while I'm in the same area, you notice how everything here overlaps into that, and it's on some Goldwings they kind of go over this boundary a little bit. I made this piece here out of some aluminum on my head, and you see how this one on this side it covers over. So to say that I'm gonna take these two off, and then after that I'm gonna take that out and that out. Okay, YouTube, this is one of the points where I tell you about that stool. So the same thing, you did saw me doing a whole lot of standing up over there, but over here, notice I could come right over here, take a squat. There's my knee up, and I can go right here and work to the screws right here in a sitting position. So again, this is where it comes for the have a stool. Give yourself a break. I would have some music on, but every time I have some music on, YouTube always give me a note talking about copyright violation and all that bull crap. But heck, all I'm doing is listening to the radio. I'm not making any money off it, but I guess they should appreciate that I'm playing that artist's music for them. Alright, so the same thing, if you want to have music, that'd be good to have to take some of the attention of what you're doing. You can kind of see I got the sun in my back. It's not that hot out here yet, but during the daytime it's a little bit better. Alright, I'm quit running my mouth. Again, I'm doing another recap. Left upper pocket removed. Left lower pocket, side panel removed. Same thing for the right, upper, and the lower. Now you might have noticed that you're going to have that opportunity to turn your handlebars back and forth to give yourself easy access to get the various things when you start dealing around in this area here. But right now, here we ready to take these off. I'm going to keep filming while I take these off with one hand. You notice that this is nothing but rubber, goes into that hole. And this little rubber slot, it hooks into that little hole. Now what I'd like to do when I put these back, I like to put a little grease on it so they'll slip right on there. Alright, so I'm going to take these two off. This is one, and I'm going to take the other. Now we're here to the false tank. Same thing here is one bolt here, one bolt there, the bolt on the right side, and the bolt on the left side. Find what millimeter it is. I'm want to say it's a 10, but I'm not for sure. Take both of those, all four of those bolts out. Now what I like to do is that you got to be careful, because the tank, it can separate into two different halves. So same thing, try to keep that seam in there as much as you can. See how that's interlocked into there? And this is interlocked, but you can kind of see it's got a little bit of a gap here. So try to keep it together if you can. And I'm going to go ahead and remove this tank cover. Okay, Goldwingers. Look how much we've done. And we're about almost halfway done with disassembling. Notice that the tank, it comes off in one piece. Nothing's attached to it once you take those four bolts off. Just grab it on the side right there, and on the other side right there, and just lift it straight up, and it comes right off and exposes all what you see here. Alright, I know what my engine looks like. I need to have a little bit of simple grain cleaning, so I will get to that when I get the Po Boy conversion on. Alright, now while we're here, you hear people say take the radiator cap off and take the reservoir overflow hose off. So I'm going to take this off, and there's the radiator cap right there, because between here and there is such a tight fit. So I'm going to let all of this come together with the filler of the radiator cap. But I'm not going to take it off. I'm just going to loosen it. Because the next thing before I do that, I'm going to take the side covers and all that other stuff off on the fairing right here. Alright. Again, turn the video off and kind of take a break. Drink a cold one. Don't drink too many because we got a lot of stuff other to do. Also too, my side bolt for the seat was a 13mm, and the ones for here is a 10mm. Also too, notice that I put the screws back where they belong to, so I won't lose them. Right up there and right here. Okay, Goldwing riders, now we're going to work on these side flaring pieces. There's a screw here, one there for the side scoop, one up at the top here, and one down on the bottom. Same what you see here is the same on the other side. Also to this piece interlocks into this piece, so once I take one side off, I can just slide this off and take it over and done with. Then all I got to do is just take the 4 screws off on that side. Alright, so that's what I'm going to do right now. Take your time, don't lose no screws. If you can put the screws back, go ahead and put the screws back. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, following back through. 1 screw, 2 screws, 3 screws, and the 4th screw. There's the flaring, and just like I said, once I take that off, that piece could fall right off because you can kind of see the slide that it fits right into that groove right there. Alright, now with this horn, I'm going to do the other side too, but I'm just going to hit this horn while I'm here. You can take the horn off while you're here, unscrew the screw here, and I could put that horn any place else, because you know you're going to probably have to cut this area here and another area up there. So don't worry about trying to put this horn back in this other place. I'm thinking as you look up under the bike from the front, I'll drill a hole up under this plate right here and I'll put that horn right there. It doesn't make a difference to me. I'd rather have it out there in the front instead of behind some flaring. Fairing. One of my friends is going to hear me say that and he's going to tease me. I don't want the horn behind some fairing. I'd rather for it to be out in the open so people can hear it. So when I blow it, I want them to hear it. Alright, so same thing, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side and then I'm going to take this horn off. You know, we talked about that tall stool and that short stool. Now when I was on the left side of the bike, that stool was there to help me get good leverage torque to those 4 screws. And I was in a relaxed position. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm sitting here, straight onto that screw, dealing with that one, and dealing with this one, and dealing with this one. And this is sitting at an angle like this, and I could get to the bolts real easy. Now with this horn here, I'm not going to deal with this horn because I don't think that this is going to have any interference with anything at all. So I'm going to leave this here. So now we're ready to start draining some radiator fluid. Alright, let me wind up and get my pan ready. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to wind up and we're going to drain up some radiator fluid. Okay, I've got my Tupperware or whatever type of hefty tote in place. I'm not going to do any seal breaking here. I'm just going to loosen the clamp there and here because this hose you're not going to be able to use it again anyway. So I'm going to wind up either cut it and let it drain, because you got to get another hose because it's going to be sticking out a little further. So it doesn't make no difference. I'm not going to be breaking that seal because I don't know if I got time to be ordering a gasket or not. So I'm going to leave that like it is. Alright, so loosen the screw here, loosen the screw there, and I'm going to take this hose off and let it drain, and then after that we'll move from there. Oh yeah, while I'm here, I did loosen that radiator cap up at the top. So when it starts to flow, it'll flow a whole lot faster because you don't have that vacuum to it. Alright, So make sure if you haven't loosened your radiator cap, make sure you loosen it. Now this is the gap that you have between the upper part of the hose and the lower part of the hose. And what I did, I just went on in there and stole one of my wives' the steak knives and just cut the hose right here in the middle. And then I found this upper part, cut it here, and I cut it here, and then had this hose compression spring that helps keep the hose from collapsing, or either to keep it from road debris. Just wiggle that out of between there, and then I slip the other little part of the hose off, slip the other little part of the hose off here, because you're gonna have to get this hose again. Now I'm gonna hold on to it because I want to make sure I get the right size. So when I take this to the pod place, I'm gonna get the same size hose, maybe in a length of about this long, so I can cut off what I want. So between here, between this line here and here, I got a little leaf of arrow. All right. So now we're all pretty much almost done. You can kind of see the sun is going down on me compared to what it was earlier, because I've been stopping, going to get something, coming back. But now what I like to do now is just loosen that screw there. I think there's another one here, and then just lower the radiator down, and up at the top there are bushings. Let me see if I can see it. Yeah, there's one right here. You see it's in a shape of a U, and the radiator just pushes right up against that. And there's another one on the other side. So the same thing, nothing's holding it up at the top. And when the radiator comes down, the filler cap and the overflow valve is all gonna come down at the same time and just come on out. Now also too, notice you might have to cock the steering wheel a little bit. And after that, we're almost, I say 85% disassembled. Can take these off, no problem, because when I take these off, I'm gonna go into putting the new belts back on. Oh yeah, you notice I haven't taken the horn off yet, but don't worry about it. That's a small thing. Alright, I took those two screws out. You can kind of see how that fits into place right up out there. Just take it out and make sure you remember how it goes back in. This one is for the left side. And this one's for the right side. You can kind of see how it angles off to the right. Right there where the bolt was, that's where it fit. So as you can kind of see, the radiator is ready to come out and drop down. Again, because there's nothing holding it, right? There's nothing holding it. So I'm not gonna, I'll probably have to go up top and take the radiator cap off, then try to wiggle it down. See the screws under the bottom, they're holding the radiator up while I go up there and check the radiator cap and the overflow tube to make sure it is traveling down freely. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. It's good if you got a friend with you that can help you with that. So if you can do it, if I can do it by myself, then you can do it by yourself, but just take your time with it. To give you a better perspective, you see those two rubber grommets I was talking about right here? That one fitted right there. And the other one, you probably see the shiny spot on the other side. There's the radiator spout, and it's ready to come down. But what's up too, this is the time to reach in there and unplug your radiator fan. So it's a simple push and just pull the pin out. Oh, I see one more hose. I forgot to get that other hose on the other side. So I can just loosen that and pull that hose up, and it should come right on off too. Alright, so that's where I'm at. See you in a minute when I take it out. Now remember when I talked about how I was going to take the horn off? I should have took the horn off, but like I said, the same thing. It's just I think it's a 10 millimeter. But only thing about it, that gives me easier access to get to it. I can get to it, but I can take the horn off now. It doesn't make a difference whether I do or don't. But I'm still gonna take it off just to be on the show side, so you can kind of see that you do have to take it off. And then I'm just gonna take that screw and pull that hose up, and then the radiator should just fall right on out. Alright, let's see if I can show you the plug. I've taken the plug loose. There's the plug. The plug is loose, and it just snaps right on off, so it's not a big issue. Alright, so we're taking the horn off, and then we're taking that one hose clamp loose, and after that we're taking the radiator right on out. Okay, 20 seconds to unscrew that screw for the horn that was right there with a 10 millimeter. Screwed the screw right back into where it came from. Took the screw off of this, loosened the clamp, and just worked that right on off. Nice soft pliable hose, so I probably can use that again if I don't need a longer part. Let's see if I can record this and that the hose come down at the same time, the radiator. No, I don't have enough angle to it, but it's ready to come down. I just need to make sure I don't put a dent in it or bend none of the fins on it. Alright, so next thing you see is going to be the radiator out. Okay, Goldwingers, that's the removing of the radiator, and that's what you'll see once you take that lower radiator hose loose. The fan and that upper hose, and you notice the wires that you have there. I noticed something on this wire here. It had a little wear right there. I'm gonna have to check that out to make sure that that wasn't grounding anything, or did it wear through, but it had an outer covering on it. Notice that I put a rag over top there because I don't want nothing to get into that area. I think that's the water pump, if I'm not wrong. So I can leave that just like it is. It still got water in it, so. And here's the radiator. It came out the same thing with the overflow tube. I'm gonna put the radiator cap back on it. And I just inspect the radiator, make sure it don't have any dents or either cracks or leaks in it. Alright. Okay, Goldwingers, as you can kind of see, this is kind of really quick and easy. Notice that I took a rag, put it over the opening of that, and used to cover the rag to cover the opening with the hose clamp. And I did the same thing for here, put a rag over it, put the hose clamp over it, so nothing can crawl down into there. Now tomorrow we're gonna get into the timing belt covers, and I'm gonna change the belts tomorrow. So the same thing. This should be easy. I think this cover comes off first because it overlaps the one on the right, and then those two screws come out. All right. Hope you had fun. Get ready to get tight here in a minute. Okay, YouTube. Here we are starting again. Before we get started and with the timing belt cover, I did have the engine guard in place. I just went on and took mine off. Minus, I had cut this off a while ago, but as long as I had support here and here, and it was easy to get on and easy to get off because it fit right in between the headers, and it went right up to there. So I just went on and took that off, so as I get ready to fit the alternator, I can see what interference it would have right from the start. Alright, now so let's go into taking the timing belt cover off. This is a Craftsman 6mm Allen wrench. This is the size wrench it takes to take the valve covers off. Same thing, I'm just gonna wind up and turn off, turn these out, get the other bolt, and the other bolt. And again, like I said, I don't want to show you how to unscrew a screw. You know how to do that. So I'm gonna do this side and the other side, and after that you'll see the removal of the valve cover, the timing belt covers.